Hi everyone. Sitting here on a rainy day drinking some peach tea. This is good. I'm home. We're safe, and the van is fixed. Oh, I didn't even tell you all about that. My sister did on her thing. She's Hillbilly Row and D. She had mentioned that I was broke down. We were broke down, and we were in several hours from home in Mount Vernon, Kentucky. We was driving down the highway, and all of a sudden our van just stopped. It decided it wasn't going to go anywhere. No warning, nothing. It just stopped as we were mid-driving. We got off into the media, and we didn't know what it was. We changed, his family was down that way. They had a campground, so his cousin come up to help us, and thank God for his cousin being down there, because that would have been a long drive for my family to come down there to help us. But it changed the distributor cap, the rotor button, the coil, a control modular something. I don't know, it's a little sensor type thing. And then, or modular, I don't know, I can't even say the word correctly. But it wound up being a crank position sensor. Crank position sensor just went out. After all those parts, that wound up being it. We spent the night at the Valero gas station. But we was in the camp, we was in the van. I still had electric, because we had that Jackery power pack. It's like a 2000 Jackery power pack. I had TV. We had, radio, lights, food, drinks. So we were okay for the night there. But they got the part for us the next day. Took Wayne and got the part. They put it on, 10 minutes, it was fixed. I think we spent all that money in those other parts, but the way it looked, it needed it. So I'm glad those things are finished and it's done. And we can go on with future journeys, I hope. Lord willing. We went down to the campground down around Cumberland Lake, the Burnside area, I think is what it was called, in Kentucky. And it's beautiful down in there. It's a lot of you got the water and the trees and stuff, but we weren't on the water, but we were in a wooded area about a couple miles or a few miles from the lake. But once we got there, they all went out on the boat for the day, but we was exhausted. We just stayed there and took care of camp for them. And that was a nice time. I'll include a little clip of that in this. I had somebody ask me, what do I do when we go places like that, and how I deal with the things that I see, and how I pray. How does prayer keep it away? Faith. My faith in knowing that God is there with me. Because no matter, I've told you all that before, no matter where I go, I always see something. If it's not attached to a person, it's roaming, it could be roaming the land, or it's just residual of things that used to be on that property. This time, though, it was shadows. It was shadows staying in the shadows. Where the land was cleared, where the camps and stuff and different houses, where that part was cleared, they didn't come into that part, but they stayed in the trees, these shadows. I don't know. I was telling my husband that when I looked, we had a big fire. They had a big fire out there, and we was sitting around the fire, and I could see the things walking along and in the shadows of the trees down the road and stuff, because we were facing the road. And I mean, it was 15, 20 shadows maybe. I don't know exactly what it was or what was holding that. I didn't ask. I just say a simple prayer, you know, Father in heaven, I pray that you protect Wayne and I and his family, that nothing attaches to us, nothing follows us home, and nothing enters into this space. I pray that you put a hedge of protection around us and our vehicles and our family. And in Jesus' name. And when I do that, you know, I see those things, it sees me, but it don't come into my space. I think it's because of my faith, knowing that he's got me. He's there, he's got me, I'm his. It's not going to bother me. It's draining sometimes when you're fighting through prayer or praying because it keeps trying to come at you. Sometimes if it's a really dark energy, it keeps trying. It just does not want to give up until, you know, you finally put your foot down and it's like, that's enough. And then it sort of backs off. I know a lot of people don't agree with what I say on this, but it's what works for me. And it has been working for me for, you know, a long time. In one of my first videos, I talk about how I learned to pray better to keep those things off of me and away. And since then, I guess I was about 14, 15 years old. I don't remember the exact age. But since then, as long as I stay strong and know that he's got me, I have to know it. I don't just pray and wish for the best. I pray it, I know it, he's got me. As long as I'm that way and thinking and knowing, that stuff doesn't bother me. Now, if it's darker, then, you know, like I said, it keeps coming at us. But that's how I deal with that stuff. And well, you know, there was quite a bit of energy around that area. Dark energy. But I was at peace. It felt good where I was at. I got to relax, listen to the birds. You know, we slept well. And we made it home safely. And nothing happened. And it seemed like our vehicle got better gas mileage, which was a plus. A big plus. But that was my weekend. And that's how I do things, my way. So keep the questions coming. I'll answer them the best that I know how with what I do for me. Like I said, there are many people out there who can see and hear things, and they all do things differently for them. This is what works for me, and I am glad to share that with others on how Jesus Christ helps me in my life through my travels and stuff. So until next time, God bless you all. I'll see you again.